G'day gang, how are you all? My name's Adam and welcome to LUT.life. Today we're at Santa Monica Playground and I'm going to show you how to make your own slackline with just a couple of items from the hardware store. Come with me. It's very simple, don't need much at all. Got a little bit of webbing. I've got one sling, not that kind of sling. And I've got an O-ring, 2 carabiners, and that's all you need to set up your slackline. All right, in this instance, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a loop in the webbing, fold it over in half, and then I do a simple figure of 8 knot, tie it off, and then I'm just gonna loop it over like so. The main thing with this is you wanna make sure there's no kinks in the webbing, and then it's nice and neat. Once you've attached it to the pole, all you need to do is just walk back and then make sure that the webbing, there's no kinks, twists, and then it's nice and tight. Grab your little sling-a-ling-ling, place it around the pole, thread it through, nice and tight. Grab your carabiner, click it through. The thing with the carabiner is you want to make sure that this gate, the opening of it, is towards the strapping. Don't have it round this way. So once you've walked out your webbing and you're approximately 2-3 meters from your other attachment point, kind of depends how heavy you are, all you need to do is create a kink in your webbing like so. You'll grab your O-ring and then thread it over the top like so. Keep taking that kink in the webbing and thread it underneath, and you create a little eyelet for the carabiner to go through. Then grab your carabiner, you'll thread that through like so, place it on top of the webbing, continue that pull, and you'll see that the carabiner sits very nicely on top and it's ready for the next part of the setup. Once we have the O-ring and the carabiner attached, we then continue on that webbing to the other carabiner. Take that carabiner, take it from underneath and then over the top. Then we want to trace that webbing back to the other carabiner, and we're going to repeat this process, again making sure that there's no kinks in it. This time we're going to come from the top like so, and you'll see now when we get back to this other attachment, all I want to do is I want to place this webbing on the inside of the pre-existing webbing that's already there. So I click it in, I lift it, and I place it on the inside of that webbing. As I pull, that will create tension and that will pull on itself and keep that in place. I do one more of these, I trace that webbing back, again going on the inside of this webbing, and then all I need to do is gently pull on this, and as you can see it gets tighter and tighter. And that's kind of the basic setup for now. What I need to do is make sure that I get lots and lots of tension in the slackline. So what I'll do is I'll give it as much of a pull as I can. I'll do a couple of bounces, it'll stretch a bit, I'll pull it some more, continue that process until I get a tension in the slackline that it will hold my weight, and I can go slacklining. Okay, so we've got a little bit of tension in there, but it's still not enough. So what I'll do is I'll come to the middle and I'll push down on it a little bit, and you can see that my body weight already is touching the sand. So I'll come back to the straps. This time I'm going to come on the other side of it, couple of wraps of the hand, place one foot in there, and you can see I get a lot of leverage. This is where the guns come into play, if you know what I mean. Whoa! Once your slackline's set up and you're ready to go, you just want to get comfortable sitting on it like so. So I recommend having one cheek on top, take your hands out to the side, pick a point in the horizon, and then just practice sitting on top of the slackline like so. Play around with that balance point. You can play around with a little bit of bounce as well, so you get used to the kind of the flow and the tension of the slackline. So like all good adventure sports, there is a consequence if things go wrong. The slackline is no different. If this ends up where the sun don't shine, you could be in a lot of pain. So a little tip when you're learning on the slackline, try to make sure that you feel the pushback of the slack line before you're about to fall, so then you've got something to rebound, and it's kind of like a trampoline, then you can jump your feet off. So if it's like this and you need to fall, you can push off and get out of the way of the slack line. Once you're feeling confident with the slack line and you're ready to progress to standing up, all you need to do is place one foot on the slack line like so, and you're going to gently press your body weight forward and press down into that webbing. Once you're feeling comfortable, then you just step up and then you're away.